Was stressed out. Was stressed out. Sometimes a certain smell will take me back to when I was young. How come I'm never able to identify where it's coming from? I'd make a candle out of it if I ever found it. Try to sell it, never sell out of it. I probably only sell one. Maybe to my brother, cause we have
This is mind-numbing. Absolutely mind-numbing. I wonder what Sam Reed's up to. I found one of the last KFC buffets in America. Ooh. I don't know what that's all about.
At the height of the fast food wars, someone had the brilliant idea to introduce the all-you-can-eat model to fast food restaurants. We're not just talking about CC's and Pizza Hut. We're talking McDonald's, KFC.
Fast forward to today, and against
all odds, there are still 18 known surviving KFC buffets in North America. And those locations have been meticulously documented by the KFC Buffet Aficionado Facebook group in both spreadsheet and map form. For the most part, they're sprinkled throughout the southeast United States, but there's also randomly one in Saskatchewan, Canada.
Saskatchewan? I'm in Manitoba. Let's see, where is that buffet in Saskatchewan? Weyburn, Saskatchewan. What's flight plan? I know I'm supposed to be studying. I absolutely know I'm supposed to be studying, but let's flight plan Weyburn, Saskatchewan and see how we get there. Okay, I'm in Steinbach, Manitoba. Charlie Juliet Bravo 3. And Weyburn, Saskatchewan is Charlie Juliet Echo 3. Add that in. Do a little bit of a bend to clear some airspace. I should be studying. My instrument rating flight exam is coming up. But I need a day off. And I've never been to a KFC buffet. Let's go to Weyburn, Saskatchewan.
Steinbach North, Foxtrot, Mike Victor Uniform holding short, runway 15, Steinbach North. Steinbach North, Foxtrot, Mike Victor Uniform, backtracking runway 15, Steinbach North. Steinbach North, Foxtrot, Mike Victor Uniform, rolling on runway 15, straight out departure, Steinbach North. Steinbach North, Foxtrot, Mike Victor Uniform, off of runway 15, climbing through 1,200, traveling southbound, Steinbach North. So coming out of Steinbach North, it's fairly busy airspace. It's under the Winnipeg shelf. If you don't know what that means, at 3,000 feet above sea level, in that area, you're inside the Winnipeg controlled airspace for Winnipeg International. And so there's 3 airports in the area that use the same frequency. So you can hear 3 airports at the same time. There are 2 airports that are within a 5-minute flight of each other, and they overlap quite a bit. And then there's a practice area for learning how to fly just through the south there. So we were flying through the arrivals for 2 different airports and the practice area, monitoring 3 different frequencies and making calls on 3 different frequencies. It's a little bit of a busy, strenuous airspace there. We are at 6,500 feet. Weyburn, we could make it with full tanks of fuel. I've got full tanks of fuel, but I put in a fuel stop because it's at about 3 hours. I need to get out of the plane. So get out of the plane, top off the tanks, and then continue to Weyburn. We've got a beautiful day of flying, and the patchwork of farm fields in front of us is just incredible.
I wish wish I found some better sounds no one's ever heard. I wish I had a better voice that sang some better words. I wish I found some chords in an order that is new. I wish I didn't have to rhyme every time I sang. I was told when I get older all my fears would shrink, but now I'm insecure and I care what people think. My name's Blurry Face and I care what you think. My name's Blurry Face and I care what you think. Wish we could turn back time to the good old days when the mama sang us to sleep, but now we're stressed out. Wish we could turn back time to the good old days when the mama sang us to sleep, but now we're stressed out.
So for those of you that don't know, I've got a cooking channel, and over on the cooking channel a few years ago we did a deep dive into the KFC recipe. Multi-part series, went down to Kentucky, ate at a bunch of different restaurants that are associated with KFC in various ways. Came back, talked to someone in Ireland who really helped us out. There's an Irish and a Canadian connection to KFC, if you don't know. When Colonel Sanders sold the business in the United States, Kentucky Fried Chicken, he maintained ownership of Canada as a territory. And so he still owned the Canadian rights to KFC, and it was a franchise at that point. When I was a little kid and the Colonel was still alive, you would go to a place called Scott's Chicken Villa and you would buy Kentucky Fried Chicken. You didn't go to a Kentucky Fried Chicken. You went to another restaurant and bought Kentucky Fried Chicken. And he maintained tight control over quality and taste and all of those things with the Canadian operation. Weyburn traffic, Mike Victor Uniform, base to final, runway 30, Weyburn.
Sometimes a certain smell will take me back to when I was young. How come I'm never able to identify where it's coming from? I'd make a candle out of it if I ever found it. Try to sell it, never sell out of it. I'd probably only sell one. Maybe to my brother, cause we have the same nose, same clothes, homegrown, a stone's throw from a creek we used to roam. But it would remind us of when nothing really mattered. Out of student loans and treehouse homes, we all would take the ladder. My name's Blurry Face and I care what you think. My name's Blurry Face and I care what you think.
Okay, welcome to Weyburn, Saskatchewan. As far as I can tell, there's no courtesy car here. I have filled up Mike Victor Uniform with fuel, so we're ready to go when it's time to leave. Looked at Google Maps, and it's about a 29-minute bike ride between here and the KFC. So I'm gonna get the bike out of the plane, get it assembled, and off we go.
Give each other different names. We would build a rocket ship and then we'd fly it far away. Used to dream of outer space, but now they're laughing at the face, saying, wake up, you need to make money. Yeah. We used to play pretend, give each other different names. We would build a rocket ship and then we'd fly it far away. Used to dream of outer space, but now they're laughing at the face, saying, wake up, you need to make money. Yeah.
How are you today?
Good, yourself?
I'm okay.
One buffet, please.
Would you like a drink?
Sure.
Anything else for your dish here?
No, that's good, thanks.
The total is $20.19, please.
I'll debit, please.
When the mama sang us to sleep, but now we're stressed out.
Used to play pretend, wake up, you need the money. Used to play pretend, money. We used to play pretend, wake up, you need the money. Used to play pretend, give each other different names. We would build a rocket ship and then we fly it far away. Used to dream of outer space, but now they're laughing at the face, saying, wake up, you need to make money.
I'm excellent, yourself?
Good. How's your wheel today?
It's great, it's great. Thank you.
You was hot now?
Yeah. So, I make YouTube videos about food and flying.
Yeah. Okay.
So I just flew from Steinbach, Manitoba,
Yeah.
to come here to have lunch.
Oh.
And I'm going to fly back.
Wow.
What is the story about this being the only?
Oh yeah. I can sit down for hours, but I don't want to sit down for hours. But
Okay. Can I?
if you want. But but the wheel was good though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So just introduce yourself and a little bit about the restaurant.
Okay. So anyways, my name is Larry Seaman. I'm with area coach of the store. In 1988, Saskatchewan had a major drought, and we were trying to figure out ways of how we can drive sales, because sales were down all through Saskatchewan, and we had KFC stores in the U.S. And so in 1988, I recommended to the company that we got to bring a buffet to Canada. Well, it was not even approved in Canada at the time. So anyways, we snuck it into Canada. I shouldn't say that. So we brought it to Canada. That's, yeah. So then what we did is about 2 months later, we get a call. They want to know why our sales were so high compared to the rest of the Saskatchewan. And I had to tell them that, hey, we put a kind of it was a Mickey Mouse buffet. It was like, say, chafing dishes and bowls with ice and salads. And then, so Yum came down. At that time, it was KFC. They came down to see what it's all about. And we had partition walls in this restaurant. And they came at lunchtime. There were 7 of them from Toronto. And it was jam-packed, right at lunchtime, jam-packed. Well, after that, they just says, wow. So they approved it. And so they end up 27 KFCs in Canada opened up. So we had 2 of them. We had one in Mooseman plus this one. Okay. And then you have to have the passion for running a buffet, and you got to keep it hot and fresh all the time. I'm going to say 10 years ago now, we got a letter that Yum wanted to shut down the buffet. So we did a big rally like just for this store only, and it went viral, and it went all over the world, and we got to save the buffet. So they came down, and we had TV crews, we had all kinds of reporters, and then the history's from there. So we signed on a contract so I think it was 2033, and so we got the buffet at that time. So we're pretty happy about it, and we're getting people from all over the world. Take a picture of that wall, because we're the only one in Canada, and we put Weyburn on the map pretty much.
That's fantastic. It's fantastic. So I noticed that the chicken comes out fresh constantly.
Yes.
It's like you don't put a lot in, just keep bringing it out.
Bring it out. Yeah, we open from 11 to 8 every day, or 10:30 now. We're open at 10:30 now, but 10:30 to 8 every day. And we want that buffet looking fresh and hot at all times. And so we're constantly changing the pans and keeping the food fresh and hot all the time. And it shows, because we get customers from everywhere, and very rare. Like I don't think I've had any customer say, hey, you know what, we're disappointed. Usually it's the food has been fantastic, and the store looks great, and the service has been fantastic.
It does, and it is. Thank you very much.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so in the time that I've been sitting here, they have constantly restocked the buffet. The selection is a little bit smaller than what Sam had at the location that he was at, but it's very good here. And I just went back to get some more chicken, and she asked me what they could cook for me. What kind of chicken did I want? Did I want white meat or dark meat? And I was like, well, there's some white meat here already. I'll eat it. Constantly change, and they don't put a whole lot in, so there's not many fries. The fries don't get a chance to go soggy. There's not a lot of chicken. The chicken doesn't get a chance to go soggy or dry or cold. Big on Jell-O, so I might not have any dessert. But I'll go back and look anyway. I'm going to finish my second plate. And for our international viewers, I'm wondering why the plate says KFC PFK. That's because it's Poulet Frit Kentucky. In Canada, I think KFC, this is the only territory where KFC has an alternate name. In the French-speaking parts of Canada, it's PFK or PFK. So there we go, the only KFC buffet in Canada. I had an interview with the manager, and hopefully I can put that in. I have to pull the music out of the background because I'm not going to be able to get the rights to the music, so it may sound a little garbled. Great talking to him. The food was fantastic. Hot, fresh. Stuff that was supposed to be hot and fresh was hot and fresh. Stuff that was supposed to be cold and fresh was cold and fresh. But I've got to get back to Manitoba. So back on my bike, back to the airport, back to Manitoba.
Weyburn traffic, Foxtrot Mike Victor uniform holding short, runway 30, Weyburn. Weyburn traffic, Foxtrot Mike Victor uniform lining up runway 30, Weyburn. Weyburn traffic, Foxtrot Mike Victor uniform rolling on runway 30, left-hand turnout back towards Winnipeg. Okay, so this really was just a half-baked, spur-of-the-moment idea for a new type of content for the channel. I really am studying for my instrument rating.
26 traffic, York, Quebec is about 15 miles northeast of York, is at 5,000 feet, 2 increments to at 5,000 feet below, Echo Charlie, Quebec, York.
I really am studying for my instrument rating. I've spent 2 weeks flying 2 and 3 times a day with an instructor. It's been very intensive. I've also been doing the book studying. I needed a break. And so this sort of half-baked idea came to me of why not fly farther west to the only KFC buffet in Canada. Let me know down below what you think. You know, I'm pretty stressed. And as I'm flying back, I will think of all the shots I should have gotten, all of the things I should have done. But really, this was just a mind break for me. And as soon as I get back to Steinbach, I'm fueling up the plane, meeting my instructor, and going back out for another flight tonight. This was a good brain break, though. So, thanks for coming along for the ride, and I hope to see you again on the next one.
Now we're stressed out. Wish we could turn back time to the good old days when the mama sang us to sleep, but now we're stressed out. Used to play pretend, give each other different names. We would build a rocket ship and then we'd fly it far away. Used to dream of outer space, but now they're laughing at the face, saying, "Wake up, you need to make money." Yeah. We used to play pretend, give each other different names. We would build a rocket ship and then we'd fly it far away. Used to dream of outer space, but now they're laughing at the face, saying, "Wake up, you need to make money." Yeah. Wish we could turn back time to the good old days when the mama sang us to sleep, but now we're stressed out. Wish we could turn back time to the good old days when the mama sang us to sleep, but now we're stressed out.
Used to play pretend, bunny. We used to play pretend, wake up, you need the money. Used to play pretend, bunny. We used to play pretend.
Steinbach North, Mike Victor uniform, clear of 33 on taxiway Bravo, Steinbach North.
Build a rocket ship and then we fly far away. Used to dream of outer space, but now they're laughing at the face, saying, "Wake up, you need to make money." Yeah.